Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name is Shawn, and in today's video I'm going to show you step by step how easy it is to make a 3D puff foam t-shirt. Now foam or 3D puff designs are very popular on hats, but you can also put them on shirts, on tote bags, other items as well. So I'm gonna go over all of the supplies and then we'll go ahead and get it hooped up and onto the machine and stitched out. So first of all, I'll be using my 8x13 Mighty Hoop, and I'll be using this red 100% cotton Gildan t-shirt. I also have a piece of cutaway stabilizer and some scissors. I do have a piece of scrap foam, and this is 5 millimeters, so 5 mm size foam that I'm going to be using. The standard size, especially for hats, is usually about 3 millimeters, but I want a more raised effect, so I'm going to use this 5 millimeter foam. I also have some stickers. This is what I use to mark my center point on my shirt. And along with that, I'll be using my t-shirt ruler as well. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll jump right into it. First, I'm going to go ahead and get my center point marked on my t-shirt. I'm going to just go ahead and lay that out. And I'll grab my t-shirt ruler. And I'm going to just line it up right at the collar. Make sure that is good and centered. And then I'll grab one of my stickers here and just put that where that center point is. And I'm gonna put it about right there. Now, if you don't have a t-shirt ruler, you can use your 4 fingers and just place it right below the collar. And then that would give you the distance you should have it from the collar. But it's definitely up to you how far down or up you want to put it. So I normally go off the 4-finger rule or just use my t-shirt ruler. All right, and then in order, if you also don't have a t-shirt ruler, you can fold your shirt in half, make sure your seams all line up, and then you can mark it that way or even press it. So you'll have that crease, and that'll let you know exactly where your center point is. All right, so I have my sticker on there. So now we'll go ahead and go over to the hooping station, get this hooped up and put onto the machine. All right, so this is the standard adult size hooping station from HoopMasters. And so I'm gonna just put the bottom part of the hoop on there, and then now I'll go ahead and put my stabilizer on and just close these down, these brackets on there, grab my shirt, and then I'll go ahead and put this over. You just slide it over just like that. And I want to make sure everything is nice and lined up. I'm lining it up with the C on the hooping station. So that way I know that it is good. And then also lining it up with the center of the hooping station as well. So you want to make sure that is good and even. All right, once you have your placement good, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the top hoop, and just like that, we're all hooped up. And now we'll head on over to the machine. All right, so I had to actually change my bobbin and put in a new one because my other one was kind of low. All right, so we have that on the machine. I already have my design up on the machine. I just need to lock my machine, and then the most important step, you always want to do a trace. So that is what I'm going to do right now, just to make sure everything is going to line up good. And I'm definitely going to have to move this up. Yes, so I need to move this up. Let's see, I want to do about right there, and then I'm gonna do another trace just to make sure. And I just want to make sure that everything is centered. That's why I put my fingers here, just to make sure it's gonna line up good. All right, so I think I'm good there. I just want to do one more trace, make sure I have the placement perfect and where I need it. Oh yeah, that is good. So it's going right just below the purple sticker for my center point. So I'm gonna go ahead and move that and then go ahead and start stitching. And now I do want to also grab my foam. Now, I would suggest initially I like to just carefully hold it down, or you can tape your foam down. It is really up to you. But I would also suggest running a trace with the foam on there so you can make sure that you have that in the right place and that it's gonna stitch out where you need it to stitch. Okay, perfect. So the foam is good where it's at. Again, this would be the part where you can add some tape either on the sides or a little bit on the top and the bottom, and then you'll be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and just double check my color, got the right needle. All right, and then so I'm gonna go ahead, oops, I just moved my foam, and then let her stitch out, and then I will be back once she is done. So we are halfway through. She's almost done and is stitching out beautifully. And so this design actually has 10,028 stitches and takes about 16-ish minutes. I forgot the exact time. But I also did slow my machine down whenever I'm doing puff designs, just to prevent thread breaks or anything like that, because it is going through this thicker foam material. And so I usually stitch my normal designs at about 800 to 850 stitches per minute. For these designs, whenever I'm doing puff on shirts, I'll drop it down to about 650 or 600. And when I'm doing 3D foam on hats, I'll usually turn it down, the speed down to about 500 stitches per minute. But she is almost done, and I will meet you back over the table so we can get her cleaned up and you can see the finished result. All right, we are done. Go ahead and take her off the machine, and she stitched out amazing. So that's how we're looking right now. And so I'm gonna go ahead and rip away this foam. All right, and then just grab the pieces that didn't come up. And for some reason you can't get the pieces up, just use a pair of tweezers or something like that. But usually it comes up pretty easily. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove my mighty hoop. Okay, and once I took the foam off, that's how it's looking. You see there's some little bit of the foam that sticks out. That does happen, that is normal. That, you know, some of the pieces may be sticking out. What I like to do is take some sharp tweezers, and you could just go around and just push it back in up underneath the threads. So normally I will do this first, and then I'll use my heat gun, because using the heat gun is going to make that foam shrink and it'll clean it up really nice. So first I like to go in with my tweezers. Any large pieces or any pieces that really stand out, I will go ahead and just push them back up under the thread. And I would say this is probably the most time-consuming part of this entire design, is just the cleanup process, because you do want it to look good. Now the question that I do get a lot is, how do they hold up in the wash? And they hold up very well. I put mine in the washer shirts that I've made for myself on regular cycle with the rest of the laundry, and haven't had any issues. If you're a little concerned about it, you can hand wash it as well, but I have not had any problems with just putting them in the wash on a regular cycle, or you can use the delicate cycle as well. All right, we're slowly getting there. And then I'll hit it with my heat gun and she will be good to go. And normally you can buy your foam. Usually it comes in 3mm. Sometimes I'll take 2 pieces of 3mm and double it up. Or I try to keep 5mm on hand, but the majority of my foam designs I will use 3mm, especially on hats. And if you don't digitize, make sure that you let your digitizer know that the design that you sent them, you want it digitized for 3D puff. You want to use foam with that design so they can digitize it correctly, so it'll stitch out correctly. You can't just take a regular design, throw a piece of foam on there. It's not going to stitch out good, trust me. So just make sure you let your digitizer know that you're going to be using this design with foam, and they'll digitize it correctly for you. Okay, we are almost there. A few more pieces that I want to get before I use my heat gun. Okay, and I'm on the last letter here. All right. So that looks good enough for me, and then I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat gun on high, and I'm just gonna run it over the design. All right, and that is that. She looks good. There is another piece here that I want to get that is a little bit larger of a piece, and just poke in there. All right, and then now I'm gonna turn her inside out, clean up my backing, and let me grab my lighter so I can get those loose threads. You can also use some snips for this as well, and just cut them off. I think it's about time for me to get a refill. All right, and then I'm just gonna go ahead, and I just always keep my hand underneath so I don't cut through my shirt, because I have done that before. So I just like to keep my hand underneath when I'm cutting, just to make sure I don't cut my shirt. All right, and there we go. And you can press these shirts with your iron, your heat press, or whatever. It will still have that puff to it. And so that is how the shirt is looking. And so you can see that raised effect. It turned out really, really cute. I'm probably gonna have to put this on a sweatshirt as well. But if you do have any questions about any of the supplies, the process, anything at all, drop them below in the comments. And if you also want me to do a step-by-step tutorial showing you how I do 3D puff designs on structured hats, which a lot of people say they have problems with, I could definitely do that for you as well. But if you have any questions, let me know below in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.